Welcome back to Arise Prime Time. I'm Charles Enyegolu, and I have a guest commentator with me for the rest of the program who's going to give us her personal take on the news and issues of the day. And she's the journalist, political affairs commentator, and Arise News analyst, Dr. Constance Ikokwu.
Hi,
how are you? Thank you very much indeed for coming in. Let's start with Kolawole Oluwadare. Unfortunately, we lost him, although he'd said most of what he needed to say. He's the deputy director of SERAP, and they're the group who are asking the ICC to intervene to try and prevent or act as a deterrent to further escalation of violence. Well, what do you think of that?
The first thing to say is that his group, SERAP, NGO, has been doing quite a bit of good work, very active in this country. Part of their statement is to promote transparency and accountability in government in the use of natural resources in Nigeria. So they do a lot of work around that. The second thing is that the ICC, of course, is an international legal body which Nigeria is signatory to. They investigate and try the gravest crimes in the world. Talk about genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, crime of aggression. The thing though is that, you know, they have asked the ICC to come in and investigate, this election violence pre and post. It is difficult to prove that these fall within the category that,
yes,
they
that is
take
politically
care of.
motivated.
Yes,
in a country where you've got lots of insecurity anyway.
Yes, it takes a very long and winding, difficult process to prove that people that are hacking each other during election period it amounts to crime against humanity, because the ICC is for really grave crimes. They're not joking. It's a serious body. So I don't know how far they will go with that. He has said that they haven't received any reply from the ICC. But the point I want to make here is that Nigeria needs to quit joking. Really, we need to quit playing. The ICC is complementary only. It doesn't supersede national governments and sovereign governments. So there is work to be done here in Nigeria. Look at the power bases in Africa. In West Africa, we have Nigeria. In Southern Africa, there is South Africa. In North Africa, Egypt. And in East Africa, we have Kenya. In spite of those power bases, people still look up to Nigeria in the continent and outside the continent. Why? We are the largest population. We have the biggest economy. So there is much that we can do. And we are here, swallowed in this internal friction and conflict, which can be resolved. So Nigeria needs to advise itself and grow up. The problems that we are having internally, which are fundamental, our leaders and our people have to decide, come to the table and say.
Which is why this election is so important. But if the ICC rejects this request, they've rejected it in the past, what would that, in your assessment, portend for this election? Do you believe that violence will likely escalate?
Well, the signs are there. We are hoping for the best. We've been having elections since 1999, and each election cycle, it doesn't happen in all states. Sometimes it is exaggerated. When we discuss this and talk about it, it looks like the whole place will blow up. And the election day comes, you go to so many villages, they are quiet, people are queuing up, quietly voting and going home. So it depends. There are flashpoints, right? Lagos is a flashpoint. Rivers probably could be a flashpoint. With what is happening in Anambra could be a flashpoint. It won't be all the states in the country. It will be some of them. We are getting used to it in a way. But I come back to the point that we need to do something about this. It's no longer, it's not funny at all. And
I think many people would agree with you, and that is something that President Buhari has promised to secure the election. He's been looking to the police, and let's hope that they do the right thing. But let's turn to the final sort of 11 days of this election. You've got We had Kololo Bondio there, who's a PDP spokesperson, predictably saying that his party is going to win. But it's interesting that there are two polls that have come out, one predicting that Atiku, their candidate, will be in third place, another one breaking down the data, saying that Atiku will get 64% from 3 zones in the north, 45% from the south-south region, where his running mate comes from, 37% from the southeast, and 27% from the southwest. What is your assessment of that, vis-a-vis what the other polls seem to be suggesting, putting Peter Obi ahead and sort of in competition with Tinubu?
First, these three candidates, the top candidates, Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, and Bola Tinubu, they are running to win. They are really running to win. Atiku Abubakar has run severally. This will probably be his last chance. He's almost 76 or 75.
76, yeah.
Yeah, so if he doesn't win, he's gone. In fact, a lot of politicians will be retired after this election, and that is why they're desperate. The same thing with Bola Tinubu. He doesn't win this time, it's over, because he's sickly and he's getting old as well. He's old already. So they are really fighting to win. Peter Obi, if he doesn't win, he has a chance to run again. The polls, like we have said before, there are so many different factors, and Nigeria again is a country that you cannot be so sure until the last minute, especially because there seems
very
to be
briefly, because we're almost out
there
of
seems to be elements of manipulation. If that doesn't happen, there might be sort of a surprises in this election, but we hope for the best.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Always appreciate your analysis. And
You're
of course,
welcome.
that is Dr. Constance Ikokwu talking to me there. That's it for this edition of Arise Primetime. Join us again tomorrow from me.